Hey guys, this is Sophia here. Today we are going to learn about SS modifier and encapsulation in Java. At the end of the presentation, we will learn about SS modifier, types of SS modifier, overview of encapsulation, syntax of encapsulation, how to implement encapsulation, getter and setter method, see few coding examples, need for encapsulation in Java, and summary. What is SS modifier? The SS modifier in Java specifies the accessibility or scope of a field, method, constructor, or class. We can change the SS level of fields, constructors, methods, and class by applying the SS modifier on it. What are the types of SS modifier? There are 4 types of SS modifier: default, public, private, and protected. So what is default SS modifier? If any class in Java is not mentioned with an SS modifier, then the compiler will set default as the SS modifier. The SS specification of default are extremely similar to that of the public SS specifier. How? Let's see with an example. Here inside src folder I create a package, go to new, then click on package named as com.defaultss. Inside it I create two class A and class B. The class B contain the main method and this is the class A. Both the class have no SS modifier. You can see only class A. Here you can see only class B. So there is no SS modifier, means the compiler consider it as a default, and we can access the method inside class A. This is a class A. Inside void message, this message method we can access this from another class which contain the main method through the object. So here we instantiate the object of class A, object dot message. Let's see, right click, run a Java application. You can see the output message of default class A. So what we see here, the compiler consider the class B as a default SS modifier class A here, and we can access it and see the result. Okay, so this is about default SS modifier. Now let's see about public SS modifier. What is public SS modifier? The public SS modifier provides the SS specification to a class so that it can be accessed from anywhere within the program. We can access it with anywhere from the program, so we can access it outside the package, we can access it outside the class, okay, from another class. So public SS modifier, we use the keyword public. Let's see with an example. Here I create another package named com.publicss. Inside it I have created two class. One is display.java, another is vehicle.java. So display.java contains the main method from where we access to the method of vehicle.java. Okay, so this is the public. Here you can see I use this SS specifier is public. Okay, this is public SS specifier. I can declare the variable, the instance variable, the value is public int tires, and the method is also public void display. So we can access it from outside the class. We access this method from outside the class, another class which is inside the package or another package. So system.out.println, I have a vehicle, it has tires plus tires. Let's access this method. Now go to the display, public, here ISS specifies public, class display, instantiate the variable vehicle v, new vehicle, v.tires equal to 6, my vehicle has 6 tires, and v.display. Now right click, run as, Java application. I have a vehicle, it has 6 tires. You can see I can access it from outside the class, and both the class are present inside one package. So we can access it from another package too because it is public. Okay, this is all about public access specifier. Now move on to private access modifier. What is private access modifier? The private access modifier provides access to the data members and the data methods limited to the class itself. When we use private access modifier, we can access in that same class only, not outside from another class. Okay, so here it provides the access to the data members and data methods limited to that class. So it hide the data from outside another class. If you see that it hides the data, we cannot access it directly. Let's see through an example. And this private access modifier play a big role in encapsulation, which we are going to learn today. Okay, that's why I am explaining about access modifier. So here is my new package com.privateaccess, where inside it I create two classes, school.java and student.java. So this is the class student and this is the class school. The school class contains the main method and declare public, and student class content. Here I declare private int rank, the instance variable I declare is private. Okay, so let's access the rank, this variable. I do comment here. Okay, now let's access this rank variable from outside the class, another class, that is school. Save it. So here you can see I can't access it like s dot, look, it hide the rank variable. We cannot see the rank variable here. Can you see? No. Yes, let on comment those and we can access it. So the private access modifier hide it from another class. We can access it from the same class, but we can't access it from another class. So let uncomment those. Okay, done. So for that, how do we access from outside the class? I use getter and setter method to access it. So set the value and get the value. So here public int get rank, return rank, public void set rank, int rank, this dot rank. This is the class variable rank and this is the local variable rank. So now let's access it. You can see now I can access here from this. Here I create the instant here I create the object of the class school, the class student. So s dot set rank, you can see, you can not find the red line here now. S dot get rank, you can found Here I set rank. Okay, set the value and get the value. Here I set the value as 12. Now let's see the output. Student rank is here, get rank, get the value. Right click, run as Java application. Okay, look, student rank is 12. So we can access the private variable through getter and setter, which we declare on that same class. Okay, so private SS modifier hide it from others. From outside the class we can't access it directly. If we want to access that variable, we send the request through getter and setter method. Get rank, set rank. Okay, this is all about private SS modifier, and it play a big role in encapsulation. So it hide the data. So we call it data hiding also. It hide the data. So the private SS modifier provides access to the data members and data methods limit to the class itself. It limits to this class only, not another class. So for that we use another two method, getter and setter. Okay, now move on to another SS modifier, that is the protected SS modifier. So what is protected? The protected SS modifier protects the class methods and members similar to the private SS specifier. It is quite similar to the private SS specifier, but the main difference is that this protected SS modifier is limited to the entire package, unlike only a class. Okay, it is limited to the package. So unlike only class with the private SS specifier. Let's see with an example. So here I created the package named as protected SS, where two classes are human.java and student.java. The student class contains the main method, and here human class we declare the method and variable. So this is the protected stream variable in the protected method. We use the protected SS modifier here. So let's access this variable method from another class, and yes, we can access it. Look, here we do not use the any getter and setter method. We can access it directly because it is inside the same package. It protects the data, but we can use it, but we can not access it from another package. Okay, we can access it from another class in the same package. Hello, I am electronic student. Okay, protected. So this is all about the SS modifier. So let's overview it. The protected SS specifier protects the class methods and members similar to the private SS specifier. So the difference is that the SS is limited to the entire package, unlike only a class with the private SS specifier. Okay, this is all about SS specifier. Let's move on to the encapsulation. Overview of encapsulation. So what is encapsulation? First of all, encapsulation is like a capsule. It means combined together or binding together. Okay, in a capsule you get the medicine combined together as one unit like that. Encapsulation is like a capsule. Encapsulation means, in programming point of view, combining data members and data methods together into a single unit. That unit is a class. Okay, so data members and data methods together into a single unit. You can see data methods and data members. Encapsulate means combined together inside a class, that is a capsule. Another way to think about encapsulation is it is a protective shield that prevents the data being accessed by outside the shield. It prevents the data being accessed from outside. Okay. Variable and methods are defined inside one class like a capsule. These are defined inside a one class. Encapsulation in Java is an object-oriented procedure of combining data members and data methods of the class inside the user-defined class. This is the syntax of encapsulation. Here you use the SS modifier, that is public class name, anything, and here you can use private. Okay, so I said on the previous class the private SS modifier play big role in encapsulation. Yes, so here I use the SS modifier private data members and private data methods, and we can assess it. How do you achieve the encapsulation? Let's see. So data hiding in encapsulation, what has happened? Data hiding is happening. Okay, how in encapsulation the variable of a class will be hidden from other class and can be accessed only through the members of their current class. Okay, so therefore it is known as data hiding. So encapsulation is also known as data hiding. Remember that. How to achieve encapsulation in Java? For that we have first create private data variables. We use the SS modifier private, show that this variable cannot be accessed directly from outside the class, and generate getter and setter. So what getter and setter do? To set the values and get the values of the field. So let's see how to get set method work. Here you can see public class student. Here I declare private string name. Okay, name variable is we use the SS modifier private, so it restrict the SS. So how do we assess it? Through getter and setter method, and it's supported by the IDE which we used. So public string get name, return name, setter public void set name, string new name. This is the local variable, and this is the class variable. This dot class variable is equal to local variable. You set the values and get the value. This is the properties of getter and setter. We declare private variable and public getter and setter. We declare private variable but public getter and setter, so that from outside the class we call this and access the private variables. You can access the private variable from the outside the class. Okay, so we declare private variable and public getter and setter. Always remember that the getter and setter is always public. Getter and setter method. So what is getter? The method capable of accessing and retrieving an instance of private variable is known as getter method. Capable of accessing and retrieving an instance variable of private variable is known as getter method. And the method that is capable of modifying or setting to an instance of a private variable is the setter method. Let's understand through example. So here I create another package as com.capsule. Right click here, go to new, and then package and give the package name. Inside that I create two class. One class is car, which contain the private variable, and another car main, which contain the main method. From this from the car main we can access the car class. Okay, so variable of the class car, but here it is declared private, so it hide the data. So how do we assess it? So we use the through getter and setter. Here I generate getter and setter. So let's show you. I here declare three private variable: name, price, top speed of the class car, the car name, car price, and the speed. I generate the constructor here. How do we generate the constructor? Go right click here, go to source, then generate constructor using fields. Check it and generate. Okay, so I have already generated it. Then generate getter and setter. The IDE support, Eclipse IDE support it. So I have again go to search, right click here and generate getter and setter. So through getter and setter we can access this private variable, the data. Okay, so this is my, you can see, public string get name, return name, public void set name, string name, this dot class variable equal to name local variable, public string get price, return price, public void set price, string price, this dot price, public string get top speed, return top speed, and this is, now let's go to the method, main method. Here I instantiate the object of class car, say equal to new car. I, because I have already generated a constructor, so one way of assigning value, the set the value is this BMW 30,000, 20,000, 200 kilometer per hour. So system.out.println, you can see here c dot get price, here we set price, here we get the price. Another way we can do is c object dot set name as Toyota, set price 60,000, set of speed 300 kilometer per hour. So this is one way. So and this is another way, set the value and get the value. Here we give the assign the value and get the value. This is a two way of assigning the value to the private, those private variable. Now run a Java application. You can see name BMW, earlier BMW price, BMW name is BMW, price is $30,000, top speed 200 kilometer per hour, and after updation, that is updating the value, name Toyota, price changed, speed changed. Here I set new value here. So already I passed assigned the value here through the constructor parameter, and next I set the value and get the value, you can see here. So this is all about one example of encapsulation. So how do we achieve it? How do we achieve encapsulation? We create the variable as private, then generate getter and setter method. Okay, let's see another example. Let's take another example. This is employee.java. This is another class employee, where I declare three variable is private, name, ID, and salary. So how do we achieve encapsulation? First step is we declare the variable as private. Second step is we generate getter and setter method. So right click here, go to source, then generate getter and setter. Okay, because I have already created, so it's shows like this. So I create this through this method we access this variable because it's private. We can't access it from outside the class directly. We send the request through this set, and we set the value, get the value. Let's see, go to another class which contain main method, and here I instantiate the object of the class employee as e. Here I set the value e dot set id, d e dot set name, e dot set salary. Then here again retrieve the data, e dot get id, get name, get salary. Right click, run as Java application, and you can see employee id is 1001, employee name, employee salary. Okay, so this is all about encapsulation. So what is the need for encapsulation in Java? So advantage of using encapsulation is first better control, getter and setter, security, and final flexibility, and many more. So here I discuss about four things. First thing is better control, and encapsulation provides ultimate control over the data members and data methods inside the class. So the first thing is better control. Second thing, getter and setter. The standard IDE, that is Eclipse, okay, and many more IDEs there. So those IDE provides inbuilt support for getter and setter methods, which increases the programming pace. The third thing is security. It is most important, security. Encapsulation prevents access to data members and data methods by any external classes. The encapsulation process improves the security of the encapsulated data. And fourth thing is flexibility. Changes made to one part of the code can be successfully implemented without affecting any other part of the code. So need for encapsulation in Java are better control, getter and setter, security, flexibility. So let's come to the summary. So we have discussed SS modifier, types of SS modifiers. We see a few examples. We discussed encapsulation and see the example of encapsulation. Okay, so few tips to remember. In encapsulation, variables must be private. Variable must be private, and they can only be accessed through methods. Those variable can be only be accessed through methods. For that, we use getter and setter method, and it must be public. Getter and setter method must be public, so that from outside the class we call these and access the private variables, because when you use private SS modifier, it hides the data. You set the value and get the value. This is the properties of getter and setter. If we don't use private SS modifier, then it acts as a normal program, and you can access it from another class and it acts as a normal program. If we use it, it makes the variable more secure. So thank you guys. This is all about encapsulations and SS modifiers. If you have any doubt, then write in the comment box. If you have any questions, write in the comment box. I will be there and to answer it. Thank you so much for listening. See you in the next lesson.